We just had our first mental health skills and support meeting online this morning, and we had conversations about how mental health challenges are not a personal failing. That doesn't mean there's something wrong with us. They're normal, natural responses to trauma, isolation, wider current events, stigma, poverty, lack of appropriate social support, safety net, community. And we talked about the difference between having anxiety, depression, freeze states, chronic pain, and how those are just part of the spectrum of human reality. Most people experience these things at some point or another. The difference between having those things and really suffering with them, and that often that layer of suffering comes from our own beliefs or narrative around depression, anxiety, mental health challenges. Beliefs like, there's something wrong with me for feeling this way. There's something wrong with me for being depressed or anxious. It's my fault. And then that extra layer of like beating ourselves up about it is really where the crux of the struggle comes. As opposed to just normalizing it, recognizing that it makes sense in response to the circumstances we find ourselves in, and then finding ways to be a good friend to ourselves in those really hard times. And so I think naming and normalizing is so important when we're talking about mental health challenges, about life challenges. It makes sense that it's happening. It's not just about you. It's in the context of what's going on around you. And also, it's really hard. And so how can we be nice to ourselves and kind to ourselves amid that? We talked about self-compassion resources, how self-compassion can really soothe our nervous systems when we're struggling with these things. They can be a lovely balm over top of the struggle. And then we also talked about internal family systems therapy and this idea that we're made up of all of these different parts of us, and that all of these parts, well, it might seem like they're not acting in our best interests, they're really trying to. And what they think is acting in our best interests probably was created when we were pretty young kids, and it's often a response to a young kid's perspective. So we talked about the ability to start to notice these parts of ourselves, get to know them, find them in our bodies, and understand them a bit better, so we can maybe get to the root of some of those beliefs, like, it's my fault, I feel depressed, anxious, crappy. I shouldn't feel depressed, anxious, crappy. And so we ended with a little bit of an exploration, a little somatic journey, grounding, tuning in with our breath, doing a body scan, and while some folks found areas that, felt activating, they had to stop and not go there. Mostly it was helping us become more grounded as we left the space. So it was a great first meeting. We're having our next one on Saturday, March 22nd at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a free event. And I'm just offering these out of my own experience of mental health challenges and just having felt so awful in so many stages of my life. And the fact that I don't feel awful now, and I really don't want anyone to feel resigned to how hard things can be at times. So gathering with other people struggling, as opposed to just seeing the social media highlight reel of everyone having an awesome life, which isn't reality. We all have hard times, and it feels important for me to, let us kind of see each other and gather in a real way. So love to at least have folks turn on their camera to say hi and show their face for some sense of safety, but you can attend with camera off. No need to say anything if you just want to listen. And I'm capping it at 10 participants, so there's a few spaces left for next month. If you're interested, just shoot me an email as a direct message, and I'll put you on the list. And I hope everyone's taking good care of themselves out there on this very February feeling day.